When you first log into Nozzle, you will see the project's overview page. This is where you can get some high-level data for each project and examine some of the metrics that you will see on your dashboards throughout the workspace. And you can always return to this page by clicking the Projects button at the top of the page. But this page is just the starting point. From here, your options are to view dashboards or manage keywords. Let's get started by clicking the View Dashboards button or the project name so we can explore how all your ranking data is going to be presented. But before we do that, let's look at one other top-level thing first. You can add new users to your workspace at any time by clicking on the Users button at the top of the screen. This will show you a list of everyone who has received and accepted an invitation to your workspace. If you want to add other users, simply click the green Invite Users button here. Just fill in the first and last names and provide their email address. You can invite several at once by clicking Invite Another User or by importing a list of users, in which case you can simply copy and paste a list of users with the format of first name, last name, email, and then clicking Import Users. After you've added one or more users, click the green Invite Users button, and each person will receive an email with a link to get started. When you click on the project name or the View Dashboards button, you will be brought straight to the performance overview. The data that you see throughout this page is based on what is set up here in the top, in the rollup, the segment, and the keyword group. By default, the rollup is set to look at the unpaid results for all the keywords of your owned brands. You can simply change some of these elements to start digging deeper into your data. The history graph shows you how you are doing for the selected metric, and we'll cover those in a moment. However, you can also click this button to see the rank groups, which is essentially how many keywords rank in each ranking spread. How many are ranking number 1, how many are ranking number 11 through 15, 26, 20, etc. In the keywords table below the graph, you will see a list of keywords, the estimated search volume, the top ranking URL for that keyword, and more. You could technically have a couple of results in the top 100 or on the first page for each keyword, but this chart, by default, is going to show you the one that ranks highest in the top URL column. In most cases, this is going to be your domain name, but it is possible for one of your social media accounts or other brand assets to appear in this list. However, if you want to see exactly how well one of your other brand properties is doing, you can change that in the rollup. Simply select the other property and take a look at the chart. Note that when it says you are ranking 101, this is Nozzle's way of saying that these keywords don't match the given criteria, not that they all happen to rank at exactly 101. Nozzle grabs data on the top 100 rankings, so this just indicates that it's outside of the specified criteria. When you do have something that is ranking in the top 100, you'll see the keyword, search volume, the top URL, your rank, and item rank, but we'll get into that in a second, click-through rate, and a variety of other metrics. The default setting is to order each of these results by rank, but you can choose to organize them by CTR, estimated traffic, pixels from top, or any of the other columns. You can paginate through these keywords, or change the number of rows to show right here. Below this first keyword list are 3 more charts, the keyword groups, segments, and URLs. This is an overview of this data, and you can see more by clicking on the top winners and losers here, or you can get more details by clicking on the name of the chart, or by clicking on the name of the dashboard here on the left. Each dashboard will have the same metrics across the top, so you can easily click to the one you want to examine. So let's look closer at these options. Before we get into each dashboard, let's explore the metrics that you will see across the dashboards in Nozzle. Keywords will show the number of unique keywords each domain ranks at least once for in the top 100. The number right here shows the number of keywords out of the total of that segment that have made it into the top 100. Rank shows the average rank for your top ranking result on each search for the keywords you've specified in the keyword group. This way, your average won't drop just because you have results in the 1st, 3rd, and 25th spot. CTR. Our click-through rate calculation starts with a base CTR curve unique to each device type based off of recent search and clickstream data. Then we look at the SERP position, type of SERP feature, and surrounding features that appear within each specific SERP to estimate each result's CTR. That's a long way of saying that no one can say for sure, but we've got a ton of data behind our estimates. Estimated traffic is simply an estimate of monthly search traffic based on monthly search volume and per SERP click-through rates. Pixels from the top measures from the top of the SERP down to the entry. We also measure the height and width of every result so we can provide the next two metrics. Above the fold percentage will show you how much of the real estate above the fold you own. SERP percentage is the same as the previous metric, but this is in terms of the whole SERP and not just the above the fold space. Results. This shows a count of how many individual results appear for each domain. Any link on the SERP, no matter how small, counts as a result. So, for example, if your organic results has 2 additional site links under it, and you have an image or a video on the page for one search query, that will count as 4 unique results. Unique URLs shows how many unique URLs are ranking in each individual SERP. PPC value is an estimate of the amount of money you'd have to spend on PPC ads to get the same search traffic. Search volume is a monthly sum of searches on the keywords and locations that you are tracking. We pull this data from Google Keyword Planner. Base rank is a metric that only counts traditional organic results in featured snippets. When you change the metric in this section up here, it will change the sorting of the keyword chart down below so that it matches what you selected. Sometimes the rank column has 2 numbers. The first follows a colorful dot, while the second follows a gray dot. The first is called the column rank, which shows you where your listing appears on the page. The second is the item rank, which tells you where the listing shows up within a certain feature, such as a map pack or a shopping pack. For example, you might see something that says rank 1, item rank 6. This means that you are in a feature, in this case, maybe a product pack, and the feature shows up in a position above all other organic listings. Your product, though, is the 6th one over, which means it will still require a couple of clicks for a user to see the actual listing. Understanding your item rank can help inform your strategies for your local SEO or online shopping campaigns. Now, let's look closer at the individual dashboards. In the By Keyword Group dashboard, you can see how each individual keyword is performing. You can set up as many keyword groups as you'd like to track your related keywords, trophy keywords, or anything else you'd like, and then use the metrics to see how those groups are doing. There are 3 extra charts to pay attention to here. The top chart shows the best performing results for whatever metric you're analyzing as of the last date time for the selected time range. The winners chart shows the results with the most positive change for a given metric, and the losers show the most negative change. There are many keyword groups that are already in the system by default, based on the keywords that you've put into the system, such as device type, location type, and more, and they will show up alongside the keyword groups you create right here. Select one or more of them to examine their performance. Click Reset to go back to the default, which is to include all the keyword groups. There are many built-in segments in Nozzle, 84 to be exact, and you can use them to help you drill down into your data. And you can even create your own custom segments to filter through everything and discover some important insights about your online presence. Just like the keyword groups, you can choose one of the many built-in segments or your own custom segments in this box here. So if you were looking at your brand, for example, you can scroll down and see how many keywords you have ranking in each segment. Some of the most common segments clients usually watch include products, organic rankings, to see the results without product listings, features, whatever. Local to see how many keywords rank in the local packs, and video packs. You can explore them all to get a better picture of how different parts of your strategy are performing. You can see how well each individual URL is performing in the SERPs. This doesn't have to be the URLs that belong to you. Nozzle collects data on every domain that ranks in the top 100 for your keywords, so you can single out some of your competition's most important pages. Just like the other dashboards, you can see which URLs have the most rankings, top performing URLs, and which URLs have had the most positive and negative movement. This is also a great dashboard to see which URLs send you the most traffic, so you can modify your strategies accordingly. You can get a lot of data on each and every individual keyword on the by keyword and single keyword dashboards. This is where you want to go to look at the individual metrics for any keyword, either through the graphs and charts or with our proprietary Nozzle Vision. On the by keyword dashboard, you can click here to select the keyword you want to examine, or scroll down to the keywords table and select the keyword there. When you do, it will take you to the single keyword dashboard. We pull the data for every result you see here. So it's not just your domain, but every single item listed on the SERP results. If it's here, we collect and store it for you. Scroll down to the SERP snapshot. We overlay the metrics on top of every result, which is what we mean by Nozzle Vision, and you can customize this view to show the metrics you want to see. Let's be clear. Nozzle Vision is not a screenshot. It's a full re-render of the HTML from the day it was pulled. Here, you can easily see rank and item rank, for example, or you could choose to see click-through rate and estimated traffic, or pretty much anything else. Another important feature is the ability to compare history. You can see the differences on specific days because we capture the entire SERP every time we pull data. You can see exactly what it looked like on a specific day, all the way back to the day we started tracking data for you. This is a great way to get some insights into your website's performance. Share of voice is a powerful way to measure how much of the market you own compared to your competition. This is the dashboard for managing your competitive analyses. In Nozzle, though, when we look at share of voice, we're not just looking at who is winning in the great ranking battle. We can let you see how everyone is doing for every metric. Change the rollup to domain, and you can get a list that shows you all the domains that rank for your keywords. When you sort this list by keywords, you can see which of these domains have the most keywords that rank in the top 100. You can create a segment, a filter, that just looks at specific rankings too. Maybe you want to see who has the most top 10 rankings. Just use that segment. Maybe you want to see who has the most featured snippets. Just use that segment. Whatever you choose, this is an effective way to see who is moving up or down the rankings, or see who has the most rankings in local pack, or quite a few other segments. Do you want to see who has the most videos showing up in the SERPs? Are you within striking distance of your competition? When you examine your share of voice, it's also important to use the most relevant keyword groups to keep track of your most important keywords for those specific comparisons. Now, let's go back and talk about getting all your keywords into Nozzle and optimizing your projects so you can get the most useful SERP data. On the project's overview, click the Manage Keywords button on your project or the setting cog next to the project name. This will take you to the Keyword Manager page where you can either add a new keyword source, choose an existing keyword source to modify, or import a list of keywords into a new source from someplace like Google Search Console. A keyword source is simply a set of keywords that share a tracking schedule and keyword mode so you can stay organized across different strategies. If you click Add Keyword Source, you will see a few options in a dropdown. These are the different methods for inputting keywords, and in most cases, the basic keywords mode has you covered, so let's select that for now. You can always switch modes later. If you are creating a new keyword source, give it a descriptive name here. If you imported your keyword phrases, they'll show up in this chart. If not, you can add keywords now, either manually, copy-pasting an extensive list, or selecting to import from a different location. Once they're loaded into this chart, you can add, remove, or modify your words and add or remove them to and from keyword groups. Then select the devices and locales for these keywords. Finally, choose the schedule to determine the number of times we pull data for your keywords. We will pull the SERP once for every keyword device locale combination. So, 100 keywords a day for a single location would mean 3,000 pulls. Choosing to pull those same keywords on mobile as well as desktop would mean 6,000 pulls. Of course, not everyone wants daily pulls, and you can use our calculator on nozzle.io/pricing to play around with your options and see how you can spread out your allotted pulls. There are multiple schedules to choose from, and you can even create a completely custom schedule. These elements can be modified at any time. If you are tracking keywords on a completely different schedule, though, you will need to create a different keyword source to do that. This is an important feature of the Rank Tracker, because you can create a keyword source to track your highest priority keywords on a daily schedule, and one to track your lesser priority keywords on a weekly, semi-monthly, or monthly schedule. The Keyword Groups section is where you can rename and remove keyword groups. Down below, you'll see the total tracked keywords listed here, which is every unique combination of search phrase, device, and locale. Always click Save Keywords after making any changes on this page. As soon as you click Save Keywords, we start tracking data for those keywords. But be aware that it will take a short while for the system to pull together your data, whether you're starting a new source or making changes to an existing one. The Brands tab is where you can set up all your online assets in Nozzle so you can track more of your digital footprint. Nozzle lets you track a wide range of online assets on top of your domain, so you can see how everything from your social media posts to your videos and press releases are contributing to your online visibility. You can even track all of this for your competition too. Click on the Brands tab in the Keyword Manager to get to this page, where you can select a brand or create a new one. When you select a brand, you will be taken to this page, where you can see all the properties that make up this particular brand. Your brand will obviously include your domain name, but it could also include your social profiles, YouTube channel, specific YouTube videos, important blog posts, press releases, your Google My Business listing, or even guest posts that are out on the internet and anything else that could lead a customer to your website. Nozzle lets you track it all, for you and your competition. If you are creating a new brand, for you or your competition, simply select the green Add Brand button. This will pop up a window that will ask you to enter a domain. Enter yours, if it is in fact yours, but you could add your competitor's domain if you're setting up a brand to analyze your competition. This will perform a quick search to find the brand properties associated with that domain, so you can quickly and easily add some important parts of your online brand. Just click Add Properties and it will automatically generate this chart. From here, you can remove the ones you don't want to track and add some other common properties manually. If this is your own brand, leave the brand type as owned. If it is a competitor's brand, change it to a direct or indirect competitor. When you're done, click Save Brand, and you will be able to start tracking a wider range of your online presence. Once you've added in all the brand properties you want to track, you can select brand, brand property, and brand type in the roll-up to focus on the data you need. The brand roll-up will let you choose one of the brands that you have created, yours or your competition's, and get data on every property within those brands. The brand type roll-up lets you choose between owned, neutral, and competitors' brands. And brand property will let you examine one of those properties at a time, whether it's your Facebook, Google My Business, whatever properties you have loaded into that brand. The more properties you add to your brand, the more you'll be able to see how your efforts are impacting the SERPs and discover new opportunities to climb the rankings. We often recommend setting up a separate brand to track videos, mostly because there can be a lot of videos, and this makes it easier to keep things organized and efficient. However, you can certainly add them to your main brand too. Videos are a critical part of modern online marketing, so tracking how these videos show up in the SERPs and not just on YouTube can provide some important insights into your current strategies. This works just like creating any other brand. Click Add Brand, skip the Add Brand website's pop-up, name it something appropriate, and go here on the Add Common Properties and click Import YouTube Videos. When you input your YouTube username or channel ID, it automatically selects up to 50 videos from your channel. You can select them all or just click the checkboxes next to specific videos and then click Add Videos to add them to the brand. If you only want to track a few specific videos, you can add them manually by clicking Add Property and selecting URL. Then you just have to paste the video's URL in the field. As always, click Save Brand before you leave the page. You can create a brand to track your competition and all their brand properties in Nozzle. However, if you don't create a brand for a competitor, Nozzle still lets you examine the SERPs and see what's going on. This works because we've collected data on every single domain that ranks in the top 100 for your keywords. All you have to do is change the roll-up to domain and then click on the field next to it. This will allow you to see every domain that has appeared in the top 100 for these keywords, so you can select one to see how they are currently performing in the SERPs. We pull data for every result you see here, so it's not just your domain, but every single item listed here. And that means there's a wealth of data on these potential competitors for you to use at will. You simply need to go through this list and find and select your competitor and see how they're doing for the same segments and for the same keyword groups. A segment is a filter that lets you switch between different segments of the SERP data. Nozzle has 84 built-in segments, and you can see the entire list of available filters by clicking on the Segments tab at the top of the Keyword Manager page. You can see the first 20 here, but you can expand the list to show all 84 items down here. Nozzle also allows you to create your own segments, so you can filter your data to see some very specific results. While we won't go into the nitty-gritty details in this video, you can get the process started by clicking Add Segment here, and then naming your segment and giving it a description on this page. Then you can begin adding different conditions. You can create a segment that only looks at the desktop or the mobile results for your videos. You can look at specific types of results, determine if the results are in certain types of SERP features, like featured snippets or people also ask boxes. You can find the results that display a price or has a price range. There are plenty of other options to experiment with and find new ways to gain important insights into your online presence. Here are some quick Nozzle dashboard tips for users. You can click the project name above the rollout to get a list of all your projects so you don't have to click to the projects page every time. This will save yourself some clicks. Click the Show field to extend the chart and get more keywords onto a single page. You can use the Settings cog on any chart to open up the widget controls, which give you a lot of quick things you can change. And this is also where you will find the Export Query button for exporting data to a spreadsheet. You can always use these question marks to get some guidelines and helps on every element. Always make sure you're sorting by the right column. You might be surprised when the keywords you don't expect to see aren't showing up. And it could just be because you're sorting by pixels from the top instead of the rankings like you thought. There's a simple way to add competitors' brands. You can add a competitor's brand by going to the Share a Voice, choose Domain in the rollup, and then clicking the options next to the name of one of your competitors. Here you'll be able to just click Add the Brand.